All right, so we're still here on the Gunflint Lake Superior. We are just above Bridal Falls on the railway grade, and you can see the little rock cut that we're coming out of here on the top of the ridge. And so we're going to make our way this way as the grade continues along the shores of the Crab River. The river is just to my right here, just to the west of me. Now, this time last year, this whole area was flooded by the dam that the beaver constructed. And a combination of maybe the dam being broken and the low water level means it's once again passable. Underneath here you can actually see what appears to be corduroyed logs, most likely put here when they constructed the railroad. This was a typical technique used. You can see more here and again here. So a typical technique to reinforce areas very cheaply that were very soft and very swampy. You can see more logs here as we move towards the south. Some of them aren't visible, but I can feel them under my feet. You can see we're coming up here on the Beaver Lodge. Once again, you can see more corduroyed logs here underneath. You can see one over here. Some more logs here. You can actually see some traces of gravel here. And as we continue southward here along the grade, in this spot here you can actually see some really good examples of the corduroyed logs. There's more underneath here. Footing is a bit tricky. You can see it's quite muddy here. And you can see actually here we found a very teeny tiny little spike. Probably one of the smallest spikes I've ever seen. And then the grade continues this way. You can see the trail continuing on as it goes on into the wood line in the distance. All right, so we're still here beside the Crab River. We're on the other side of this sort of swampy low area. As the grade continues southward here, we get into more firm ground, more rocky ground. So the grade continues this way in a southerly direction, most likely just right over here. And I believe here we are back on top of the grade. You can see over here we've located yet another spike. And so the grade would have continued this way, right between this ridge and the river, which is just right there, and continued on its way southward towards the Crab River. All right, so we're standing here on the grade of the Gunflint Lake Superior. We are to the south of Bridal Falls, and we're standing here on the grade which continues in this direction to the south towards Crab Lake. And what we have here is a interesting series of discoveries. It started first of all down here with what you can see is a pile of bits of coal and a piece of bolt from a fish bait connector. And then at the same time we were noticing this, we found even more coal over here. And then over here, there was this large chunk of metal in the ground. Not quite sure what it is or what it would have been used for. But you can see that there are two very similar shaped metal bars on this side. And then, so here on the other side, and you can see that there is some sort of metal frame that connects the two pieces together. And then here is yet more chunks of coal. Some rather large chunks right in here. And so obviously this is, the coal must have come from the trains. And not sure what this piece of metal is from, or something that came off a train, or some sort of logging apparatus, or something that would have been used on the locomotive itself. I'm not entirely sure, but it is certainly a great discovery. So we're here alongside the Gunflint and Lake Superior Railroad. We have a rather chilly day. We have some frozen stuff coming down, and what we found here just beside the trail is we found a whole pile of wire. And there seems to be a lot of it coiled up here. Possibly could have been used as telegraph wire, but we're not entirely sure. Just taking a look around to see if there's any other traces of things lying around, but it doesn't appear to be. So obviously this is just another piece of evidence that the railway did in fact traverse along here.